We begin tonight with Frank Luntz and a focus group of Iowa voters. Watch this.
Megan, all eyes are on Iowa, and they're on caucus voters just like these right here, because every one of them has changed who they support within the last 48 hours. In fact, watch this. How many of you could actually change back or might go to someone else? Raise your hands. What is wrong with you people? How long does it take?
You know, we have so many. The field is so big. There are so many issues, and more things keep coming out. And especially in the last debate, without Donald Trump there, you saw other candidates able to come up and rise to the top and give you a different impression of them.
So I got to ask, was that actually a positive, not having Trump there? Did you feel like you learned more?
Yes.
You're nodding your head. Tell me why.
Absolutely, because I feel like when Trump speaks, it's a circus, and it's all about being a bully and trying to get everybody, you know, just attack, 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 where this time it was all about the issues. And everybody got more of a fair chance to actually speak than some of the other debates.
I know some of you here like Trump, so you're nodding your head.
Yeah, I switched to Trump. As a small business owner, I think he gives me the best chance to better my business and leave a legacy for my family.
And what gave you that impression over the last 48 hours that you didn't have before?
Because I've really delved into the financial and fiscal policies of Donald Trump, and being a business owner himself and having time to research it over the weekend and into the weekend gave me a chance to look and see that he's not going to penalize me for being the best small business owner I can be.
What caused you to shift? What caused you to flip from one to another?
Well, over the last 3 days, I've really gone from Trump. Then we watched the debate where he didn't show up, and I was a huge Cruz supporter. I've seen him in person. And then after Kelly showed him that video of his bill and amendment, and he brought it down to 38 words, you know, and kept going back and forth with that, I just didn't see him as honest anymore, so now I'm with Marco Rubio. So
you went to 3 different candidates in the last 48 hours?
Yep.
There's a word for that. I don't know what it is.
It's not flip-flopping.
But there's a word for that. And how likely are you to stay with Marco Rubio?
100%. I was actually able to see him in person last weekend and ask him a direct question about my family and their security, and the way he answered it with my 10-year-old with me, it made me really solidify why I would choose him as a candidate.
How many of you have met a presidential candidate this election cycle? Raise your hands. You see, where were you? Were you in Nebraska? 9 out of 10 of you have met a presidential candidate. I'm now curious, at some point in your life, how many of you have actually met, and may have been before they became president, who here has actually met someone who became president? Raise your hands. 5 out of 10, only in Iowa. So you haven't gone to any rally?
No. I work. I own my own company, so I work a lot. So I do watch a lot on TV. I've been between Cruz and Trump a lot, back and forth. And I will say I have a lot of respect for Trump in the aspect of he went against the norm and held his own rally, and people lined up. I was watching it on the news. People were lined up all the way down the street to get in to see him.
And this vote is taking place in less than 24 hours. Where did you settle?
I've been back and forth, even to this morning. I talked to my brother who is in the military, and he's been diehard Trump. And I was over at his house this morning talking to him and going back and forth and going through how it's going to affect us.
And where are you right now?
Trump.
So you actually switched from when we interviewed you.
Yeah.
Ooh, I hate when people do that. Who are you choosing between?
Wow, I've done some flip-flopping too. I was the very beginning of Carson. I think he's an upright man. I've kind of moved toward Cruz, and now I'm really moving toward Rubio. I am very impressed with Senator Rubio and the understanding when he speaks that he's giving Americans the importance of this election and how past generations have struggled and worked to make America great, and that we are going to continue to have those. But what kind of America are we? Are we going to move toward a socialized America, or are we going to be the America that, say, the greatest generation was? And can we rally as an America?
So, Megan, I know that you are that people are concerned that I was the first in the nation, that they cast the first votes, and whether they're sophisticated enough. How much television do you watch? How much information have you collected?
I watch and read the news every single day of the week.
Have you seen every debate?
Yes.
Every one. Have you seen every hour of every debate?
Yeah, I was at the last debate.
You actually went live?
Yeah, present.
So where did you start?
I started off as a Rand Paul supporter.
And now?
And now I'm for Ted Cruz more as a protest vote against Donald Trump than anything else.
And what are you protesting?
I respectfully disagree with some of the comments here that he's not conservative. He's stated before that he wants a socialized medicine system beyond Obamacare in this country. He's flip-flopped on his positions many, many times over the years, and I can't stand by and let that happen.
So what's more impactful to you? The debates, the ads, or what you read in the newspaper?
The rallies.
The rallies.
I've been to several rallies, and I've had candidates come to where I work and actually speak, and that's where you really get to know a candidate and their passion and what they believe in. And for me, that's what people should do. They should go and actually listen to the candidates speak instead of having to try to, debate and fight each other, because you really get a good clue who that person is.
So I got one more shot. Go ahead. Last comment.
I want to say the rallies are so important because if you interact with them, you see their human character, where their prism of what they believe in and why. Because that's the most important element that I find useful, because leadership is based upon your character and insight.
So who's undecided still? Who might switch? Raise your hands. Okay, so very quickly, what advice would you give the candidates when you wake up in the morning, what should they be saying to you tomorrow morning to get your vote tomorrow night?
I think it's all about the debt. I haven't heard hardly anything about the debt on the Republican side.
And who are you leaning towards now?
I'd say probably Rubio, protest vote, like what he was saying. Trump is just, you can't say bimbo regularly, and it's not political correctness, it's just basic human decency.
So I want to make this point, Megan, that they're not talking necessarily about issues. There's a lot of conversation about the attributes of the candidates. You have to have the right policy, but you also have to have the right persona. Back to you.
Amazing. Amazing group, Frank. Thank you. And I don't know who has doubts about the Iowans, but they should be removed now.